This is my prime example of people that's puppet masters trying to control the narrative.
We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
This story unfolds like a gripping political drama, and you won't want to miss a single moment. Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and Thor Township supervisor, is at the heart of a town in crisis, facing accusations of financial mismanagement and exploiting local government for personal gain. Despite the mounting pressure, Henyard refuses to step down. Her tumultuous rise to power has been marked by chaos, but her potential fall from grace is shaping up to be even more explosive as the town teeters on the brink. Henyard's fierce struggle to maintain control has transformed Dolton and Thor Township into a high-stakes political battleground. Stay tuned for the twists and turns in this wild, unpredictable saga.
Subjects, we are your bosses. We are the citizens of Dolton, and you will not continue to treat us like this because you are...
The latest twist in this ongoing political drama has turned the spotlight on a Democratic caucus that erupted into chaos. Tiffany Henyard, the embattled Thor Township supervisor, was attempting to secure her spot on the ballot for re-election, but ran into a significant hurdle. Her slate of candidates was incomplete due to the lack of a certified assessor. Enter Napoleon Harris, Illinois State Senator and Democratic committeeman, who stepped in with a full slate of candidates and clinched the nomination. This marked the first time in 30 years that the Thornton Township Democrats opted for a caucus instead of a primary, and the drama certainly lived up to expectations. Henyard was furious, storming out of the caucus and accusing Harris and his team of orchestrating an illegal process. She didn't hold back, calling Harris a coward and vowing to sue everyone involved. "They can't beat me," Henyard declared, claiming that the caucus was specifically designed to block her from running. Her supporters rallied behind her, accusing Harris of voter suppression and rigging the process by allowing his backers to enter the venue first, effectively locking out many of Henyard's supporters. The political tension in Thornton Township is at an all-time high, and with emotions running wild, it's anyone's guess where this unpredictable saga will go next.
Tonight, if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination.
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. We'll see. People out here, they're not gonna...
Tiffany Henyard's time as Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor has been marked by controversy, with allegations of extravagant spending and questionable leadership decisions. Critics claim that chaos seems to follow her wherever she goes, and they might not be far off. And reports suggest that Henyard used township credit cards for personal expenses, including thousands spent on lavish trips and luxury items. Perhaps the most shocking revelation is that she allegedly spent over $40,000 on Amazon in just one day, an eye-opening sum for a public official. These ongoing scandals have only intensified the political firestorm surrounding her.
Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the...
If you thought Tiffany Henyard's financial mismanagement was limited to personal spending, think again. A report by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, appointed as a special investigator, revealed a shocking financial decline in Dolton. The town's general fund, once boasting a surplus of over $5 million, plummeted to a deficit of nearly $4 million in just 2 years. Lightfoot's findings also exposed widespread misuse of village funds, including 2 police officers who earned more in overtime than their entire annual salaries. One reportedly made over $100,000 in overtime alone. Meanwhile, residents of Dolton, with a median income of just $24,000, are left to shoulder the burden. But Henyard's leadership goes beyond financial turmoil. It's about power. One of her most controversial decisions has been using the police as her personal security detail, prompting critics to argue that it pulls officers off the streets, making the town less safe. Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins, whom Henyard fired, blasted her for using police resources for personal errands and appearances, calling it a waste of taxpayer funds. To make matters worse, multiple local businesses have claimed they were targeted with police raids after refusing to donate to Henyard's civic events. One business owner even took the matter to the FBI, accusing Henyard of harassment and retaliation.
Wow, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this things started at the township, where the people were, just showing.
One of the most bizarre allegations against Tiffany Henyard involves her alleged targeting of the Dolton Park District, an entirely separate government entity. The Park District claims that Henyard issued over $2,000 in citations for routine maintenance tasks, such as installing new playground equipment and spreading fresh mulch. Park District President Cleo Jones stated that these tasks are carried out annually to ensure a safe, clean environment for children to play. "We don't play politics here," Jones emphasized, stressing that the Park District should not be dragged into political conflicts. Even more troubling, the Park District has accused Henyard of blocking 2 grants worth over $500,000, potentially costing taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars.
7 minutes, that's all it took for Tiffany Henyard to be out as the Democratic nominee for Thornton Township Supervisor, and she left here visibly.
Tiffany Henyard has faced multiple accusations of withholding resources to punish her critics. Trustees have claimed that her administration deliberately delayed permits, denied funding, or even shut down businesses run by political opponents. One trustee described her leadership style as vindictive and controlling, noting that Henyard doesn't just seek power, she wants to crush anyone who challenges her. This approach has left many residents feeling frustrated and silenced. As one Park District executive put it, "What resident wants to look outside their house and see rundown things? If we can upgrade these things and you're preventing it with a permit, the residents are suffering." Despite these accusations, Henyard continues to maintain her innocence, often shifting the blame to others. In a recent public statement, she lashed out at her critics, saying, "And that's just me telling you a little bit, because all this finger-pointing at Tiffany or lying on me, I'm over it now. It's time for me to speak. As I say, truth speaks." She has also accused trustees and other officials of sabotaging her efforts, claiming they are more focused on their political ambitions than serving the community. Whether this is deflection or genuine frustration remains unclear, but her refusal to take responsibility has only deepened the divide between her administration and the very people she was elected to serve.
Regular scheduled village hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting
The situation in Thornton Township has reached a boiling point amid chaotic leadership. Interim Police Chief Ronnie Barra was recently removed after a judge ruled he was ineligible to serve, leaving the police department without a leader and raising concerns about public safety. Meanwhile, tensions between Supervisor Henyard and the trustees have escalated, with some trustees boycotting meetings to block her from appointing allies to key positions. To make matters worse, Henyard warned of a potential government shutdown due to the township's failure to approve insurance coverage. This issue emerged when trustees refused to attend meetings, preventing a quorum and stalling the approval process. Trustee Chris Gonzalez defended the boycott, arguing it was essential to stop Henyard from appointing a new trustee who could give her unchecked power. With no resolution in sight, the township's leadership crisis shows no signs of easing.
And clock is ticking.
Tiffany Henyard has fired back at the trustees, accusing them of putting the community at risk by leaving it uninsured. "We have no insurance right now," she warned, highlighting the dangers to the township's vehicles, buildings, and even its residents. "How do we operate?" she asked, stressing the potential consequences if someone were to get hurt. The standoff between Henyard and the trustees has left residents frustrated, caught in the middle of a government gridlock with basic services in short supply. Despite this, Henyard remains resolute, declaring, "I'm going to come through on a landslide, just like Trump did," comparing herself to the former president. "Like it or not, I'm your mayor." However, Henyard's confidence may be misplaced as she faces an ongoing FBI investigation into alleged corruption. Federal agents have reportedly seized employment records, personnel files, and financial documents as part of their probe. Henyard's allies are also under scrutiny, with one of her closest supporters, former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Lacey's lawyer argues that the charges are part of a broader effort to build a case against Henyard. As tensions rise, the future of Thornton Township and Dolton remains uncertain. Residents are fed up, trustees are divided, and the community's future hangs in the balance. Some have voiced their frustration on social media, with one commenter stating, "I'm quite sure she is the reason why the town has no insurance." Another added, "She doesn't pay her own bills, stop her and continue to expose her." Meanwhile, Henyard's legal battle over the caucus continues. Her lawyer argues that the process was riddled with irregularities, including last-minute rule changes and voter suppression. However, Harris's team insists the caucus was fair and legal. A spokesperson for Senator Harris has refused to engage in political bickering, focusing instead on critical issues that matter to the community. Election experts have raised concerns about the rules requiring a full slate of candidates, suggesting they may be too restrictive under federal law. Could this open the door for Henyard to challenge the results in court? Only time will tell.
People were getting let in at the proper time. We had a caucus, and the people voted for a slate of candidates to represent.
As this saga continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Tiffany Henyard is a fighter, determined to hold on to power at any cost. Whether it's suing political opponents, rallying her supporters, or clashing with trustees, she refuses to back down. Yet the toll on her town is becoming impossible to ignore. Thornton Township's finances are in chaos. Its government is growing increasingly frustrated. The real question now is how far Henyard will go to maintain control, and what will remain of the town when the dust finally settles. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this developing story.